Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. First of all, Happy New Year. I hope you all had a lovely Christmas and New Year. Disclaimer, I'm still talking a bit funny because I've got Invisalign in, I think I'm in my fourth month now. I've just changed my tray, so I've got a bit of a lisp, but I really wanted to do this video for you guys ASAP. Also, I just thought I'd let you know that I dyed this hair and made this wig all by myself. This is my first time ever dyeing any sort of hair, any colour, and like making like a full frontal wig. I did it for you guys. So just for that as well, I think you should subscribe to me if you're not already. I'm going to put a subscribe button somewhere. But yeah, let's go. I was sent the hair by an AliExpress company called Peerless hair, and there's so many reviews on them on YouTube, so I'm sure you've heard of them before. Yeah, they sent me a 16-inch frontal, and then they sent me 3 bundles, one 20-inch and two 22 inches. And the one thing I will say is that the bundles themselves weren't that thick. I've had thicker bundles, but they weren't exactly thin either. But yeah, they weren't that thick. But the hair, oh my goodness, the hair is so soft. So soft, I can't believe. Yeah, the hair smelled really nice, like really like as if it's just been like shampooed or something, which was quite nice. There's no funny smells or anything, which was good. Yeah, it still feels so ridiculously soft. There's no like excessive shedding or anything like that. I can't believe, I'm actually so shocked, I'm not gonna lie. And I've just used my curling iron on it, and it's just so bouncy and so like, and to be fair, the hair seems quite long. Do you know what? I'm used to like getting 24 and 26 inches. So initially I was like, okay, is 22 going to be long enough? But it actually is quite long, and I've curled it. So yeah, they sent it to me. When they sent it to me, the hair was like dark brown, sort of black. But I decided that, you know, I wanted to dye it for you guys. And this is the colour that it's turned out, which I'm pretty pleased with, if I may say so myself. Again, so this is going to be a very, very, very beginner friendly video, because I myself am a beginner in this wig making game. So, you know, if I can do this, then you can do it too. Yeah, so I'm going to just talk you through a little bit about what I did. It wasn't that hard at all. Again, I'm no like professional wig maker, obviously. I haven't filmed me actually putting the wig on my head, because I've got another video on my channel which shows how I put on my wigs and how I get them to stay down and get them to stay flat and stuff. So go and check that out if that's something that you want to know. Yeah, so here is all of the things that you are going to need. I went for this sort of ready burgundy colour. So I ended up using another bottle of cream developer, and I actually ran out of dye. But the original shop that I bought the little bottles of dye from was closed, and I wanted to get this video done ASAP for you guys. I had to run to Morrison's and get like a box dye, which is the bottom colour. To be honest, it's worked out quite well, because I wanted there to be some sort of like levels and some sort of dimension to the actual wig, and it blends quite nicely. Yeah, so I'm just going to show you guys how I dyed the wig and how I constructed it and all that kind of stuff. Thank you guys so much for watching. I know you subscribed already, but just in case you forgot, hit the subscribe button, because I'm going to be bringing out content in 2019. Mark my words, because that's what we're doing in 2019. We're being consistent. We're following through. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Like, comment, subscribe, share. Mwah. Right, so guys, this is the frontal that we're going to be working with. In order to make the wig look really natural, we're going to have to go ahead and bleach the knots. This was my first ever time bleaching knots. So I'm learning with you guys, but it wasn't that hard at all, and the frontal's really easy to work with. Yeah, so basically, hello. So basically, before we do anything, what you're gonna do, or what you're gonna do, is just lay something down on the surface that you're gonna be working with, because the worst thing is to, you know, get any stains or leave any marks or anything that you're gonna have to tidy up afterwards. So I just went ahead and got a black bag and put it on the table. Right, so I'm just combing out the frontal now to make sure there's no hairs or anything in the way when I'm ready to actually bleach the lace. I've showed you guys the products that you're going to need in this video, so have that on standby so you're ready to go. I actually found some extra peroxide and bleach in my cupboard, so I'm going to just use that as well, because I thought I might as well just finish it. with the products that I showed you guys earlier. So what you guys are gonna want to do is mix the peroxide with the bleach powder. Now there's instructions on the back of the product, like, you know, in terms of ratios and stuff, but literally what you're gonna want to get is like a pancake batter consistency. Initially, in this first take, actually, the consistency that I got wasn't fantastic. It was a bit more lumpier than it should have been, which is probably why my knots didn't bleach as good as I wanted them to in the first round. So like I said, what you're going to want is like a pancake batter consistency, like really creamy, not too thick, not too runny. I'll actually show you guys the consistency you're looking for when I start bleaching the hair. So you just want to go ahead and put the bleach on the lace, tap it, don't like sort of spread it on, because you don't want the bleach to seep through to the hair, because we want dark roots to make the wig more natural looking. So yeah, so just tap it on like I'm showing you in the video until the bleach covers the whole of the lace, and then leave the bleach on for about 40 minutes or so. Then go ahead and wash it with your shampoo, and then I'm going to follow up with a purple shampoo to get rid of any sort of bronze, and then just a conditioner. Right, so now it's time for the fun part. We've bleached the knot on the frontal, and now it's time to bleach the hair. This bit's a bit trickier, but I've got you guys. I'm going to try and make it as detailed as possible. So right now I'm just sort of combing out the hair and separating it because it's easier to work in sections. Now, so what we're going to do here, so we're going to bleach the hair, and this is the creamy consistency I was talking about, the sort of pancake-like batter consistency. And we're just going to spread the bleach on the hair, leaving about 2 to 3 inches of roots, if that makes sense. So we're going to start spreading the bleach 2 to 3 inches down. Now be relatively heavy-handed when you're doing this, because you want to make sure you cover all of the strands of the hair. If you're looking for more of a solid block colour, then you definitely want to make sure there's no sort of bits on the hair that has no bleach on them. But if you're not, like me, if you're looking for more tones, still be heavy-handed and try to cover all of the hair. But if certain parts have more bleach on it than others, then that's fine. So I'm going to just go ahead and comb the bleach through to make sure all of the strands are fully coated. Now, to protect the roots and to make sure that when we start working on the next section, the roots don't get covered in bleach, I'm just placing a little square bit of foil there. I'm literally just placing it on top of the bit that we didn't put the bleach on, so that when I separate the hair out and put it on top, the roots from the first strand won't have any bleach on them. Does that make sense? Just have a look at the screen if you don't get what I mean, but hopefully it makes sense to you guys. And we're going to do the exact same thing, start spreading the bleach on the next section of hair about 2 to 3 inches down, leaving the roots untouched, and we're going to put foil on top of that and go again. So just have a look at the screen if you don't understand what I mean. I didn't mean to rhyme there, but I took this method from one of Sophiology's videos, and it absolutely does work, and definitely is not as hard as it looks. So just carry on working in sections. I like to work on the left side and then the right side, and then meet in the middle. So leave that on for about 40 minutes. After it's done and you're good to go. Now it's time for the bundles. It's pretty similar to what we were doing before, and you don't need any foil for this. I'm just going to go ahead and coat all of the strands of the bundles, leaving about 1 inch or 2 at the top. I'm going to do that for every single bundle, and then leave the bleach on the bundle for about 40 minutes. And to make sure that the bleach touches all of the strands, I'm going to go through with my brush and just comb it through. Like I said to you before, if you don't want a straight block colour, then it hasn't got to be completely even, but if you do, just make sure you're quite careful and you make sure that the bleach touches the hair evenly. So this is how the frontal turned out. It came out like a sort of light browny, blondie colour. The roots are still dark, which I'm happy about, and I'm going to go ahead and bleach the knots again afterwards off camera. The bundles were a similar colour, and now that everything is bleached, it is going to be time to start the dyeing process. So I just grabbed my other mixing bowl, and I'm going to pour in the dye that I showed you earlier. I actually got a few different colours just so that I can have different types of red in my hair. So I'm going to just pour them all into the mixing bowl in no particular order and just mix it up a little bit. Guys, I don't know what it is, but I actually just loved watching the dye go into the bowl. It looked like strawberry jam to me, and don't worry, I didn't actually try and eat it, but I'm gonna stop talking now. So exactly the same as before, we are going to coat the dye about 2 to 3 inches down. This was so much fun to me, I don't know, it just reminded me of like painting at school or whatever. So we're going to coat the dye about 2 to 3 inches down and place the foil like we did before. Be very, very careful here, guys, because when the bleach got onto the black bag before, it was completely fine, it was just bleach. But this will stain your lace frontal and your hands if you're not careful. It stained my frontal, but luckily it was in the back and a bit at the front where I was going to cut it off anyway, but I wasn't as careful as I should have been, and yeah, it stained my frontal, guys. Be very careful not to get too much dye on the table. You can see here that I'm getting so much dye everywhere, it's ridiculous, but be more careful than I was. But yeah, exactly the same as before. Coat the frontal in the dye, place the foil on the roots, and then repeat. Hopefully I'm explaining this properly, but keep watching just to make sure you know what's going on. We're going to just do exactly the same to the frontal as we did when we were bleaching, and then we're going to leave the dye on the hair for about an hour, and then I went ahead and did exactly the same thing to the bundles as I did when we were bleaching. I placed the dye about 1 inch down, 2 inches down, and left that on for an hour, and this is the result of the dyeing process, and I'm really happy. And like I said to you guys before, I ran out of dye, so one of the bundles was quite dark because I used a random box dye, but that was fine. I'm just going to go ahead and put that in the middle of the wig so you can't see. This is the frontal with the dark roots, girl. But yeah, it came out really, really good, and I'm really pleased. Here is where I got dye on the lace. I got dye on the lace, but oh well, silly me. It doesn't show when you're wearing the wig, so now it's time to make it. I went ahead and put on my wig cap and put the frontal on top. I marked where the frontal touched my ears and where it touched the back at the middle. And then I did the same thing on the actual frontal, so that would be easy to join the frontal up when I'm sewing it down. Just showing you what I did here. I'm going to go ahead and pin down the points of the frontal onto the points on the wig cap, if that makes sense. Just have a look at the screen. I did that so it would be easier when I'm trying to sew it down. So I'm going to just go and brush the frontal again so that nothing is in the way when I'm sewing, and then I'm going to start sewing the frontal down. In terms of positioning the frontal actually onto the wig cap, you want the front where the baby hairs are going to be like 1 inch or so in front of the wig cap, if that makes sense. So I'm just showing you here, you don't want it to rest directly on it. The bit where you cut it and where you're going to cut the lace off, you want that to be just like 1 inch or so in front of the wig cap. So now I'm going to start sewing down. I'm going to just take the pins out and go. I like sewing from the middle and going to one side and then coming back to the middle and going to the other side, because I think that just makes sure that the frontal lays flat and has no lumps in it. So again, I'm just showing you what I'm doing. I'm going to start in the middle and then go to the left, and then I'm going to go back to the middle and go to the right. So now that the frontal has been sewn down, it's time to sew down the bundles, which is much, much easier. I'm sure you guys already know how, but I'm going to just show you here how I go ahead and sew down the bundles. I like to sew from left to right because it just makes sense. Yeah, so I start at the very bottom of the wig cap and I work my way up. I sew underneath the width because it's just easier for me to do so. And also we do not cut bundles over here because it makes the hair shed. So when you get to the corner, you're going to just go ahead and flip it around like I'm showing you in the video. Right, so guys, we are almost at the end. Once you get to the top, you want to make sure you sew that last bundle down as close to the bundle as possible, just to make sure it all looks seamless and not gappy. But guys, we are finished. Here is the final look. All in all, I think dyeing the hair took me about 4 hours, and then sort of making the wig took me another 3 to 4 hours. But again, I'm a beginner. I'm sure it will take me less time as time goes on. Guys, it is Make Your Own Wigs 2019, so I hope this video helped you. Make sure you give me a thumbs up. Anyway guys, enough of the chit chat because I don't want this video to be too long, but I hope it's helped you, and thank you so much for watching. Guys, follow me on Instagram. My Instagram is Pfizer_XO. Follow me on Twitter, Pfizer_baby. Subscribe to me on here, help your girl out, and I'll see you in soon.